So 28 laps to go in the Toyota Save Mart 350. Urbain won stage 1, Wallace won stage 2, green flag, final stage underway. Look at this big run, the Fords to the lead. He's led more laps than Bubba so far today, looking to continue that. He led all 12 laps of stage 1 plus the first few of stage 2 before he pit for fuel only, which guarantees him to make it to the end of this race, and now he's back in the lead. There was nothing Bubba could do about it. So we mentioned that the 4 of Urbain has never won here at Sonoma before as he makes contact with the wall. Looking for his very first career Sonoma Raceway win. And it would be his 7th this season. Sorry about that to the one viewer, the Wi-Fi lagged, so it cut off the stream. So we're just finishing up the Save Mart 350 here. It played out all the same. The 4 car won stage 1. Bubba Wallace won stage 2, except this time the pit stop was actually done right. So now we were actually able to do the race the right way. And the 4 car was able to grab the lead here on the final stage restart. And next time by, we'll face 20 laps to go. Or 25 laps to go, excuse me. Here in wine country. Looking for his first career Sonoma Raceway win. And his 7th this season. Heading into the All-Star break before we get things started back up over on Twitch with the second half. It's going to be a fun final 10 races to the playoffs. And those begin in 2 weeks over on Twitch. But for now, we got to finish up the final 25 laps of this race. And then we got an all-star race to run. And with these final 25 laps to go, we will take you side by side just one time throughout this whole broadcast. See you in about 5 laps. auto owner's insurance on board the number 4 this week, and paint scheme looks perfect. We said 5 laps, but we're back now. As during the break, you might have heard us come back for a minute talking about the paint scheme on the number 4. That's a nice paint scheme the 4's got this week. Kind of a little bland on the back there, but you know what? I like the auto owner's insurance on the car. That looks a little unique. How about you get your first career Sonoma win with them on board? That'd be even sweeter. "21 laps to go at the line." Okay. So, partner, this number 4 car, excuse me, has a nice scheme here. Do you think auto owner's insurance will bring him some luck and maybe he'll be able to finally get his first career Sonoma Raceway win? Or do you think Bubba Wallace will chase him down and retake the lead, or will a caution come out? Also, to the other viewer, the Wi-Fi lagged on the last stream, so we restarted a new stream at the conclusion of Stage 2. No, I wish Smithfield would have stuck around for Noah Gregson. Yeah. The overstock, though, has been used a lot this season. I think it needs to go out of stock for a couple races. Everyone else missed the funny joke there, but probably wasn't that funny anyway, so. I wonder what the heck they even got on that website. I've never actually like been on that website. I've never even heard of it till they started sponsoring cars. Yeah. You know what'd be funny? Is if instead of Overstock, I made a Wayfair paint scheme. Sounds about right. It should be 600 for the gazebo. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, you can say that again. Say that louder for the people in the back. Anyway, 37 laps gonna be, 55 gonna be complete this time by. That now means there's 18 laps to go, partner. And look at this, the leader's caught to lap traffic, but I don't think he catches them before the end of this race. 18 to go. It's a road course, you know, he might have caught up to him, but I don't think he's going to actually be able to lap any cars. What do you think? More like crazy good expensive deals. I might have been too quick to speak because look at this. The 4 is getting there. Might take another lap or so. Or he might catch him down here in turn 11. Oh, he's got the 10 of Armarola lapped, and here he goes, lapping Harvick, almost turning him around there. As now he looks to chase down the 8 of Kyle Busch. Yeah, got the wall a little bit there. I tell you what, this 4 car knows how to drive into these turns, knows where to go and what turn to get around these cars. And McDowell turns himself right off the bumper of the 4. If McDowell gets mad about that, do you think that's justified? I don't know though, because McDowell kind of came up. You see that the 4, you know, was going into the turn there. You should have waited and crossed him over. I don't think you should turn yourself off his bumper. We'll see how they settle it in the post-race interview. Alex Bowman brake checked the 4. The 4 not happy with him. Door slams him in turn 11. Gotta say, I agree with the 4 again there. You can't brake check the car faster than you. As now he's going to look to the inside of Tyler Reddick here, or outside of Tyler Reddick. Oh, a little bit of contact. As there's Martin Truex Jr. ahead of him. That's going to be, Martin Truex Jr. is going to be his teammate next season. As he announced he is going to Toyota, as Joe Gibbs has announced he is going to be retiring as a team owner, and a little bit of contact there. I think the contact on the side of the car, though, would have turned out a little better than that contact on the back if he didn't hit the brakes. Martin Truex Jr. isn't a driver you exactly want to be involved in an incident with. As look at B.J. McLeod almost turning himself. The 4 not happy with that. Puts him and McLeod in the wall. He's gonna have to lap some cars again. Squeeze the 8 in the wall. Kyle's probably not going to be happy about that. He shows a little frustration there. Road course racing, partner. Yeah. And what are you doing, Tyler? You saw Michael McDowell turn himself there. Hang on to it, buddy. The 4 has caught back up to B.J. McLeod. B.J. obviously with a little damage from that wreck. Got to try to get in, or going to try to have a little more cleaner, and guess what? He does it to the 4 again. The 4, this time, not going to put him in the wall. Instead, he's going to turn him in turn 11 to show frustration. Probably a little better than that wreck in the wall, though. McLeod's going to lose spots as a result of that. The 4 crew is saying that first wreck he probably should have waited until turn 11 to do that one too, because he might lose some points for that one. We'll have to see, though. Or will NASCAR argue that, you know, because of the dirt there, you know, he got into him, shoved him down there, and then they basically slid into the wall. Will they argue that there wasn't really intent? Because right about here is where they got in the wall, you know. So will they argue that there was no intent? What do you think is going to happen on Tuesday, partner? As a result of that first wreck. Do you think there was intent, or was it just sliding in the dirt over there? Yeah, I mean, you could argue that it was intent, right? Because, like, he obviously was mad about something, but then you gotta think about it too. You get down in that dirt and it's just like ice. So, did he really mean, to put him in the wall, or was he, well, at least that fast? Did he really mean to put him in the wall that fast, or was he just simply trying to, tap him into the wall? That's what... Now I don't know what they're going to say about the turn 11 incident. Because multiple wrecks within, 2 laps. NASCAR probably not going to be too happy about that. But we'll see what they do. Martin Truex Jr. slid off the track there. You know what I think happens to the 4 crew on Tuesday? I think they get fined $50K for putting them in the wall. And I think that they just dock them a few points for the turn 11 incident. I think those seem like some fair penalties, don't you? Well, I mean, you gotta think about it too, though. What NASCAR is gonna review is, yeah, it was multiple incidents within a lap of each other. But at the same time, one of them was a little bit better than the other one. As look at this, Urbain's lapping the car he's gonna be driving next season. As he's gonna buy out Joe Gibbs Racing, and that's gonna become Team Urbain. Christopher unlaps himself. Ooh, that could have been disastrous, and the 20 crew would have definitely been upset with him, and I would have seen why. And Urbain got the 20 off the track there. Not sure they're going to be too happy about that, but essentially you could argue if you're the leader, get out my way, have some common courtesy. What do you think McDowell's going to say in his interview about the contact with the 4? And do you think NASCAR is going to say that the 4 intentionally wrecked the 34 there? As we're approaching 10 to go this time by. Four got into the back of the 42 there of Ty Dillon, but keeps it straight and 10 to go. And the 4 crew on the radio a couple laps ago just said that it was chicken crap of the 78 to brake check him going down the track, or not brake check him, run him up the track again, so that's why he turned him in turn 11, and the 78 crew can kiss his you-know-what. Well, somebody's brats is definitely getting burnt over the 4th of July up in a couple weeks. And since the 4 team is going to be hosting the party, I don't think it's going to be Urbain's brats that get burnt as he laps Joey Logano. Now, BJ McLeod is eligible for the postseason this season, as he looks to the inside of Chase Elliott. Elliott coming down the track. Now following the racing line, the 4 just, instead of, retaliating, he just politely said, hey, I'm right there, and moved him out of his way into the racing lane. How do you feel about that last pass there? I think, honestly, I respect him for politely just moving him out the way, you know? No need to wreck him, and as we got 9 to go in the race. No need to wreck him with 9 to go and risk, you know, losing the race. Just simply say, hey, I'm there by just tapping his car, you know, and moving him right out your way. As look at Kyle Busch ahead there. As next season he will be going to the 8 crew. We accidentally slipped up and said Kyle Busch was in the 8, but it's actually Tyler Reddick. Or no, was the 54 in the Cup Series? No, it wasn't. Yeah, no, it wasn't in 2022. So next season, Kyle Busch is going to the 8 team. It's already been determined. Urbain has not decided if he's going to keep the 18 yet or not. We will let you know as soon as possible. As he laps Daniel Suarez there and now has broken into the top 15 with 8 to go. He's not going to be able to lap everybody, but he's going to be able to lap a good amount of these cars. How about Garrett Smithley running top 15? That's not really a name you hear often in the top 15. A little bit of contact with Garrett Smithley, more contact. And to the outside goes the 4, a little bit faster, has to really hit the brakes there. But he gets around the 15. With now 7 laps to go here in the final stage. Oh boy, partner. Unless the caution comes out, it looks like this Ford crew is going to get their first Sonoma win of their career. And you know what the perks of winning here in wine country is? A nice goblet full of wine. So this crew's really going to celebrate, but we'll see what happens on Tuesday, you know, penalty-wise, because technically, you know, some forms of payback are just not acceptable to NASCAR. Also, at the end of the race, I'm going to have you be the interviewer. And some of the drivers. Five to go signal next time by. He's there to the inside of Chastain. Got to stay below them grates, though, because Technically, that's considered cheating if you go outside of it. Don't be a Ryan Priest. And be careful to not wreck the number 1. Well, partner, he technically did cheat last season, if you remember. Yeah, we were calling the race, and Priest went way below there. And took over the lead, and the 4 of Urbain decided to race him clean, over wrecking him. And honestly, I'm surprised NASCAR did not penalize him and disqualify him for that. Honestly, while it would kind of be dirty, and the 4 car already had a race won and was locked on the playoffs, if I was the 4 car, I would have put the bumper to him. You got to get aggressive in late race situations like that. What do you think, partner? And if he spun, but it's one of those situations. As less than 5 laps to go now. Gotta be careful making the contact with the cars, though. As now he's gonna cut into the top 10 and looking to run down his other teammate starting next season, Denny Hamlin. What a race run by this number 4 crew, partner. Team Urbain has brought a fast car to the track. Oh, got into the quarter panel with Denny there. Denny's not somebody you want to have contact with, especially when, he's gonna be teammates. You're gonna be teammates with him next season. Denny decided to run in the grass there. But yeah, you don't want to do that because you don't want beef with your own driver, You don't want your own driver being like, this guy's taking over our team, really? Todd Gillen running top 10 for the first time in his career. He's a rookie in the Cup Series this season. As we have 3 to go. And a reminder, since we're around that time, once we get the white flag, if the leader sees the white flag under green, the next flag ends the race. Caution prior to that, we go to overtime, since we're around that time, as the 4 is able to lap Gillen there. Overtime is a 2-lap shootout, green-white checkered flag finish. Same rule applies if the leader takes the white flag under green. The next flag ends the race. Caution prior, we restart. And it's unlimited attempts till a winner's declared. And I'm telling you what, on a road course, you probably want to see that white flag under green in regulation. Especially if you got this big of a gap. Not all those cars are lapped out there. You don't want to go to overtime and then end up losing the race, Less than 3 to go. As Corey LaJoie loses a lap. Some fan just yelled something from the stands. Couldn't really hear it that well, though. Do you think some of the fans are tired of the number 4 of Urbain winning all these races and championships, or do you think they like to see that? Yeah, but I mean, how can you hate Urbain though? He doesn't really retaliate much, and when he does, he shows you, hey, I felt disrespected by you on the track, so allow me to show you that. He's not afraid to get a little physical with the cars. You know, and he's not afraid to make enemies. He's not here to make... He told me in the pre-race show, you know, about a little contact last week with a car that made contact with him and then he retaliated against and put in the wall. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win races and championships. As now he looks to lap his teammate, Chase Briscoe, who's been in the top 5 all day, and he does. White flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Urbain Woodworking. The 4 crew looking to get their first career Sonoma Raceway win. I don't think anyone better could win for the first time in their career at Sonoma Raceway than the 4 crew. A top 5 finish last season and a top 10 finish the season before that. You gotta say that this win is deserved. You know, obviously we'll see what any repercussions are for the incident on the track there between him and the 78. I'm sure it's not going to be anything too crazy, especially because he didn't really right hook him. And even if they were to take the win away, guess what? That doesn't really matter to the 4 team as they head into turn 11 for the final time. He's going to lap Keselowski. That doesn't really matter to the 4 team because they're still a 6-time race winner and in the playoffs. And Urbain gets his first career Sonoma win. He wins the Toyota Mart 350. Only 2 cars finished the race on the lead lap. Let's take a look at Victory Lane, and then we'll get you some interviews. There it is, partner. The goblet and the wine on the trophy. That's a pretty sweet trophy you get here at Sonoma Raceway. As Urbain climbs from his number 4 machine. A race winner here at Sonoma. Alright, so let's get some post-race interviews in, starting with the winner. How do I feel about how I raced him? Well, we'll get to that. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, I want to say shout out to my team, you know, shout out to Auto Owners Insurance, all the sponsors, for getting us a nice Ford Mustang, or a nice fast Ford Mustang this week. Honestly, I didn't know if I was going to ever win here at this track. You know, 6th place my rookie year 2 seasons ago. 2nd last year, and when we thought we had the race won. We were obviously dominant last season as well. Dominant this season. Was able to get the win, and I can't thank my team enough for that. Now, as far as the incident with McDowell, I'll talk to him about it like a man. I'm not gonna, you know, be a coward. I'll explain my things to him, because what had actually happened is I was going into the turn, and I drove into the turn on the racing line, and he just come back up and just turned himself off the front bumper of my car. So obviously, you know, we'll talk to him about that. Hope everything's good there. You know, honestly, like I said, you know, if I make a few enemies here and there, doesn't define this career. You know, I'm not really here to make friends. I'm here to race, and I'm going to race you hard, you know, and sometimes things may happen, but, you know, it's racing sometimes. Sometimes racing incidents happen. However, in regards to the contact I made with the 78 there, putting him in the wall, obviously I hope all is well with him. You know, I never intend to, like, hurt somebody on the track, so I hope he's not hurt or anything, you know, and if he is, I'll take care of every cost there. So basically what happened between me and him is, on the track, he started racing me like doo-doo, so I said, I'm not going to stand for it, buddy. He started slamming me, trying to run me off, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to run you off the track, and I ran him into the tire barrier there, so obviously we'll see what happens Tuesday and take any repercussions that may come for that and move on to the next one. And then the second contact with them, I was able to get the cars a lap down again that I lapped, and they did the same exact thing, but this time instead of putting them back in the tire barrier, because I don't want to end up suspended or worse, for a race. So instead of putting them back in the tire barrier, I just decided to turn them in turn 11. Perfect place to turn them. Well, not really, but perfect place to turn him there to teach him a lesson. Hopefully he doesn't run us over on the track at the All-Star race. Hopefully he doesn't decide to just completely wipe us out. We'll have to see. But yeah, that, and then what did you say about Alex Bowman or something like that? I didn't think I raced Bowman dirty at all. I think I made some contact with him, but that was about it. If anything, Denny Hamlin fans should be mad at me because I didn't really give him room there to come back on the track, but also I'm the faster car on the track, You got to also show some respect and get out the way, but I guess since there wasn't really competition behind me, they decided not to or something like that. But also, you gotta have respect too. You can't sit out there and expect respect back from people. If you can't just get out the way. You're a slower car. I'm lapping you. Move out the way. That way, no contact or anything like that happens. I don't think I raced Bowman dirty at all. I'll definitely talk to him, and if I did, I apologize about that. But I don't think I raced Bowman dirty at all. If anything, it was really McLeod, and I don't think I raced McDowell dirty at all. He just completely wiped himself out. There's only so much I can do there, There was some contact with Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin, and I backed out so I didn't wreck him. I mean, it's the same situation. I got into the back of them, and I backed out before I ended up turning them. So, here on the track, honestly, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, man. You might get repercussions for it. Take it like a man, and that's that. But don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. If somebody races you dirty, pay them back. Probably don't full on run them into the tire barrier like I did, but. Alright, so now Michael McDowell. You heard what the 4 car said there. How do you feel about that contact? So what makes you say that? Okay. Well, we'll have to see McDowell's point of view on things there. BJ, you obviously had some contact with the 4 there. What do you think about that? Well, I think yours was as equally bad as McDowell's incident because he retaliated against you, man. He didn't go head on into a tire. He just spun himself out. But yeah, so, talk to us about the contact with the 4 there that led to him retaliating against you and, obviously spinning you out in turn 11 again. We'll have to see. Thanks, BJ. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Denny and Martin, since you guys are standing next together, the 4 mentioned there that, you know, he got to the back of you and let off the gas to avoid wrecking you. What's your thoughts on that? So, how do you feel about how you were raced by the 4? I mean, I mentioned, you know, that he backed out of the gas so he didn't spin you out there, you know, and this guy's gonna be your boss next season essentially. So I think that he would disagree about BJ McLeod though. Like, at least the first contact. So basically, here's the replay. You see the 78 runs into him, causing trouble, and then he runs the 78 into the tire barrier, and then this very next lap here, you see that the 78 does the same thing, so he spins him in turn 11. What do you think about that? Yeah, and I think that after that second incident, you know, there wasn't really any more contact by either driver, so I have to see. All right, it appears that the 4 is talking to the 34 right now, so let's go over there. Hey man, I don't think it was very fair of you to turn yourself off my bumper, man. You clearly came up the track there. I was following the racing line, and you come up the track and completely turned yourself off my bumper. I think you should probably check your mirrors more often, bud. Oh, I was following the racing line, something that you did not. You went way off the track and then come back up and turn yourself off my bumper, man. Well, if you would watch the replay, you'd see that the 78 deserved what he got. You didn't really deserve what you got, but at the same time, I can't control if you run yourself into my front bumper and spin yourself off my bumper, man. Buddy, my number beats you today, okay? Why, okay, my car was faster than yours. You got your butt kicked by your teammate today, bro. When have I done that in the previous 15 races, man? Oh, we'll see, man. We will see. For sure. Because I promise if you do anything for that, I'm going to pay you back, bro. The same way I did McLeod. The second time, at least. Bro, for what? You're going to get yourself embarrassed again like you did today. Your teammate beat you and he's a rookie. And it took you like 14 seasons to get your first win, buddy. I won my first race in my first start. All right, so now he goes over to the 78, and here's the talk with the 78. What the was that, man? You just completely ran into me on the track and wondered why you got ran in the tire barrier. You think this is funny, McLeod? Listen to me. Listen to me. You're in a same situation as most of us on the track. You're in contention for a championship this season. You're in contention for a championship this season as a full-time driver. If you keep racing like that, bro, I promise people are going to wreck you. Like you got done twice. Like you got done twice to you today. That was literally him and Reddick, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. was just contact, and I backed out of the gas so I wouldn't wreck them. You got wrecked because you drive like a chicken crab. And then you tried to run over my pit crew on pit road. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, just for that action, I know NASCAR ain't gonna like that, so enjoy the couch next week, buddy. Yeah, we'll see about that, buddy. That's good old road course racing for you. Get used to it, because you're going to get roughed up in the playoffs if you make it, buddy. First round exit. Yeah, we'll see about that, buddy. And one last interaction. So here's the 4 now talking to the 11. Hey, Denny, I just wanted to apologize about that little incident back there. I completely wasn't trying to wreck you there, man, and I even backed out of the gas to make sure I wouldn't, Yeah, and if you saw it back there, man, the 78 kind of deserves that. Yeah. But for sure, man, like I see what you're saying, but like when somebody wrecks me like that, it's kind of like, you've had it happen to you before. You know what I'm talking about, man. Like, it's annoying, so I gave him a taste of his own medicine. I don't think that hurts to give him a taste of his own medicine. Even if we're sitting on the couch next week, so we'll have to see. But all right, man. I just wanted to come over here and apologize about the incident on the track. You definitely should come to the 4th of July this year. Well, I look forward to being your teammate next season, man. Hopefully things will go a little better with Toyota. All right, so the repercussions for Sonoma Raceway 2022. So the 4 team was fined $50K. They were docked 3 points for the extra contact down there with BJ McLeod. BJ McLeod was docked $100K for almost running over pit crew members on pit road. And that was it, really. Nobody got suspended. Everybody literally made up after 2 days. Literally, McDowell, McLeod, and the driver of the 4 were seen hanging out, going shopping out in the public literally a few days after the incident. So everybody cooled down. They had a great all-star race. BJ didn't make it, but he watched the entire race and went out and shook Urbain's hand as he won that race. And they made up, and fun fact for you, Urbain actually assisted McLeod into the playoffs with a big push to get him a Stage 2 victory at Daytona, which clinched his ticket to the playoff. Urbain ended up winning that race. So by the end of the season, Everybody, well, by the end of that week, everybody made up, and that was that. What do you think about that, Bob Pockris? Hello? Yeah, but what do you think about them making up by the end of the week? Yeah. And also McLeod did issue an apology for almost running over the pit crew members on pit road. So, and fun fact, McLeod and Urbain did not have another incident that whole season. There were a couple drivers that had incidents with Urbain, and Urbain retaliated against him, and McLeod said, well, take it from me, that's the kind of stuff that gets you wrecked on the track, so sucks to be you. That's what he said. But with that, we say so long, everybody. Thanks for watching. Catch the 2024, this season's Toyota Save Mart 350 right here on FoxTube TV Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason it's on Monday is because going to the real race at Michigan on Sunday, so we'll be home so late and we got a couple other things to do that we won't have time to run the race on Sunday, so it will be Monday instead. We will still do our race day show on Sunday just to talk about the starting lineups, the teams, and stuff like that. But no race on Sunday. It will be Monday instead.